build my gallows and build them high. Makes a long time climbing before I die. I want the chance.
Hello everybody, welcome to Longbangers. I'm Matty.
I'm Colin. How are you?
I'm good, mate. How are you doing?
All right, aye. It's funny recording time tonight, but it's good.
Aye, early evening recording time. We meant to do it last night, but I was away out, so didn't get back in until sort of to the point where if we started recording, it would have taken us past our bedtime at our age. So,
well, at my age, aye, definitely. But how late did you get in the end? Like
7:30.
Oh,
it was like time we actually got in and got settled and everything. It was probably closer to 9 o'clock. Before you stop, when you come in, you've done all the fanning about that you're going to do.
Aye, and if we're doing that's what we're doing. Like you've not said the agenda yet, but if we're doing a bit of a preview, we don't want to be too early in the week anyway.
Nah, that's it. You didn't care what's going to happen. So tonight's show, we've got a few talking points from off of Twitter that we'll cover off. We look ahead to Thursday's game against the Forces of Darkness at Ibrox. And then extra time, we're going to answer a question that was asked on Hibs tonight, wasn't it? It was how confident are you of a successful end to the season? So that'll be our extra time. As if this episode isn't going to be gloomy enough, there's a whole load more gloom to come after it.
Already, just at tea time, -5 outside. So that's just to add to the gloom.
Do you salt your pavement?
No. I've not really got much of a pavement, to be honest. Anyway, it's like,
your driveways are a bit of slope. That would be treacherous in the ice, is it not?
Well, the pavements that are here out in the main bit, they're a nightmare because it's 7 years old up here, but the pavements are like a fucking skating rink. As soon as because it's like they've not been scratched or something. Some tradesmen have know the reasons, but it's like they've not been walked on enough or something yet to actually create the protection to make it less slippy. So it'll be fucking brutal. So when I go out with the dog later on, it'll be pretty brutal. My daughter went to school today with no jacket on. Caught her coming in to school there at 3:30, 4 o'clock. I went, where's your coat? No, wore one. No, I know. Didn't want to. She said, but why did you not want to? Just didn't want to. And I went, but it's fucking freezing outside. She says, it's not that cold. Freezing? It's not that cold. That's what she told me. So the night when the heating's starting to go on and that, I'll say, nah, just go outside. It's warmer out there. Fucking unreal.
Aye. Mind those days when you're wee, you didn't. You're young and no bothered about things like that, eh?
Aye. But I mean, fucking, it must be cooler to wear like some pretty little thin jumper or something than it is to wear a fucking thing that keeps you warm.
To stay warm.
-6 is just turned to, according to my laptop.
There you go. Right. Latest for the weather, eh?
Just keep everybody listening to this on Wednesday night and that going. It was cold on Monday.
It was cold, I remember that. We had the heating up. We did. We had the heating up.
Just try to fill up to half a at least.
Had to scrape the car.
I did keep my car defrosted today.
I tell you, we've got with the new car. I showed you the other week. You can set a temperature before you go in, so there's no scraping the cars anymore. We get up in the morning and you say, right, what time we're leaving the house, and you go out, it's all fucking cleared up.
Really nice motor for everybody that's listening. Yeah,
it's didn't show it. Right, Jeff Ashton, first talking point of the night. Right, we'll get straight into it. He says, I think I mentioned this a few seasons ago, but I would love to see Porto as a CDM. That's a centre defensive midfielder, Colin, in place of Kenna for a few games. Uses the ball better, wouldn't lose a tackle and can run. Alas, probably too late now. And I know Kenna wasn't here 2 seasons ago, says Jeff. What do you think of that?
I'm not really a big fan of playing players out of position. He's never played there before, so it'd be guessing. I can see the theory, although I'm not convinced. He does lose the ball a lot when he's passing. He gets a bit of rep for being a ball playing centre half, but I do think he gives it away quite a lot. So I'm not sure he'd be any different to Kenna on that front. Not that Kenna doesn't really. Does Kenna give it away a lot?
Nah, not a lot.
The perception was built though, wasn't it, by Johnson, that he just needs to be better at football with the ball.
Yeah,
because he's good at all the other stuff. So I'm not sure playing somebody to position would get the value. You would get more from someone that plays that position.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Ken. I think out of the signings of the summer, goalkeeper and Boyle aside, he would be my pick of the signings. I really like him, really rate him in that position as well. I think he just kind of gets on with it. Doesn't give the
He's
ball away
been
that
one that,
much.
nah, he's one that he has been dropped a couple of times
Mhm.
as well, just for like no real sort of, well, poor result, and then he gets dropped. It's almost like he takes the brunt of it.
There was a rumour that was like, what was that, a sponsors night or something through the week that Ben Kensel and Lee Johnson were at, and Johnson apparently said he was looking for a number 6 still,
Which is
which
that
surprised
position,
me,
isn't
which
it?
is what Kenna is. I mean, he
Mm,
literally is the number 6, I'm sure.
mm,
Which was a bit of concern because Kenna came with a fair bit of fanfare. It seemed like a bit of a coup to get him.
aye.
Um,
But that's what I was saying. Mind we had that conversation when I was talking about like raising expectations. We've done it with Tavares as well,
yeah,
like, and there's been others. At Milkerson, as a club, we kind of build the expectations up, and then so I'm not blaming just Johnson here. I know
yeah,
Johnson was direct here for Tavares and who's the other one? The other one we said Kenna.
Kenna, yeah.
But Milkerson was the last manager, and it could be because obviously we've got a chief exec that likes to tell people stuff quite a lot, because he knows everything. Like so, we've got that, and it just falls flat on its face. It's all right if one of the thing is, what value are you getting there, because the expectations are that much higher. It's really hard for them to meet it. So actually, all you're getting that initial boost. Fucking great transfer window, great signing. But within 2 games, folk have went, fuck me, they told us that fucking every team in England will try to sign him. He's
Aye,
pissed. Writing him off.
yeah.
Folk were written Tavares, Bojang off after less than 90 minutes in total, probably added together. And I'm not saying Bojang had the big write up, like, because he's the opposite, because he's came off a team that
Aye.
nobody's heard of, so he got written off for that reason. But we do tend to, I think we need to temper expectations a wee bit rather than, and I'm not saying come and say, hey, shite, we'll see how it goes.
Aye.
Just saying, just sort of, just tell us the truth a wee bit.
There must be like a sort of middle ground there, eh? Like
Aye.
to be fair, a bit of balance. That Bojang was probably too far the other way, where they made it sound like he was like, he might be all right, he might not, we didn't ken. We'll wait and see.
We're just taking a swing at this one. That's
Aye,
almost what they said there, whereas with Tavares and well, kind of to an extent, it's like, fucking, we are lucky to have this boy. He's not going to be here long.
aye.
You know what I mean? That was kind of there's like, come on. It's like, he's 19. He looks good. He's promising. He's never played a first team game. We'll see how he goes.
Can you think of any examples where playing a player out of position is paid off?
I've not had any time to prep that one. I've not had any time to prep anything, actually. I didn't mind Cadden in midfield last year when he came back from injury. He played in the Derby at Tynecastle, and I know it's like not a brilliant example because he wasn't man of the match or anything, but he's just back from injury. He played himself in midfield. I think he done all right, done decent. And then I suppose you could argue playing Boyle up front rather than out wide. It's worked.
Yeah.
On occasion, depends who you're playing against, depends on the other tactics. But I can't really think. I'm trying to go back over the years on that.
I think you need to go back to Matty Jack, really, for the sustain when Matty Jack signed as a centre half, made his name at Hibs as a defensive midfielder. Aye. Other than that, I can't really think any. I mean, somebody posted fairly recently that Paul Hanlon should be playing in midfield because that's his normal position. Like, because I think he played in midfield as a youth player.
Attacking midfielder, nonetheless. Well, the thing is, he's been all right when he stepped out of defence, and he's shown that ability. But it's like 15 years on or longer since then.
I think people underestimate how specialised positions are in football. I mean, there are players who can move about a wee bit, position to position and get away with it. But I think like there are, I mean, certainly like a central midfielder, I think you need to play that role for a number of years to be good at it.
Aye, well, you've got to learn from mistakes and all that. And it's good to play at youth levels and that. play different positions to get an idea if you're a centre midfielder, the angles that a left back's got to need or want, and all the other ones around it. Lewis Stevenson's played different positions, as well. And at centre midfield last year, he was probably our best midfielder.
Okay.
So there's other, but then you kind of, I don't know if you would say he's kind of started as a midfielder, didn't he? Or was he a left back? I can't remember. But
came in as a midfielder, and then I think it was maybe Yogi moved him to left back.
He played left back under Mowbray, like when he was a laddie, and then he seemed to get put in midfield with John Collins. So I don't know, but I can't think yet. There's no glaring things there, is there? You know, it's not like you go, we'll drop Messi for up front. We'll stick him on the left hand side of midfield, or you could do that because he's quality enough that you could do it. But it's not. It wouldn't be the normal thing to do. You play your best players in the best position. Instead of farting about with it, you've got other players in that position. Why would you?
Aye.
Back to the Porteous question. Why would you do it?
Yeah,
play him up front. You used to have a good header in that on him. You know what I mean? It's good. It used to be a good goal scoring record at youth level. Play him up front.
It's always my biggest argument against players out of position. I'll try to shoehorn them into the team to do it, because Hibs been bad for that recently. You get like a player and you go, because you weaken them and then you weaken the team. Play them in their best positions. That would always be my, unless it was like an absolute necessity, play a player where he's meant to play. Okay, right. Next point was Charlie Mulgrew thinks he made that up. What's the chances of Hibs exceeding expectations and taking at least 9 points out of the next 12, only to go on another slump in the new year?
What's the chances? I reckon the bookies would give you a big price on getting 9 points out of the next 3. Like, you'd be looking at thousands to one by the time you roll that accumulator up.
Aye. There's again, we'll talk about the second half of the season in extra time, and we sort of did a bit of a what do we think is going to happen when we're talking about Lee Johnson's future. But do you think there's 9 points out of 12 isn't anyway realistic for the next games coming up?
Nah, that's not realistic. Not with Celtic, Rangers, and Hearts in there. You're looking at Livingston as the 3 that you think that's a must 3, like we've said already. Repeating myself, maybe it was an extra time though, so folk, I've heard that. Livingston game's a must 3, got to get, and then where's the other 6 coming from there? Like, you've got to win 2 more of those games. Maybe a derby, you might get a hit and run, you might be lucky. Derbies can be funny. We've won at Tynecastle before. We've been really shite with Ireland scoring, and mind the laddie. Oh fuck me! Caldwell scored in that, when unexpected wins. So there's like you're clasping at straws there, but there's 6 then. Then you've got to be Celtic or Rangers. Like it'd be some turnaround. Like,
okay. The slump in the New Year's note, that far-fetched, is it? Does it count as a slump if you're already shite?
Well, the slump would just be worse, wouldn't it? The slump would just continue.
What's the word for a big slump?
It's a good question. I don't know. Big slump, big hill.
Text in to 80295, just the word. No context on it, just the word.
Yeah.
Big slump. Right, Dave Graham said, what areas need to be strengthened and who has moved on? Also, Porto sell now or wait until the summer and let them go. So if we take this one in the 3 goes, right, probably Porteous one is the easiest one to answer, so we can start with that. What areas need to be strengthened will come on to next, and who's moved on, I'm looking for probably 6 players here, Colin, that tie in with Johnson's. I can't remember whether they said 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 players that he wanted to move on.
Yep.
So Porto, what are you doing with him?
I would be tempted to sell if we got a decent offer for him. However, to link into the second part of the question, centre half's an area we need to strengthen. Even if he was staying, we'd be wanting to strengthen there. So if he's also leaving, then we need to be strengthening centre half massively. Like, because then you've left with Hanlon and Rocky, haven't you?
Yeah.
Which is, it's not that bad, but we've been saying we need to strengthen there for
Fish as well.
2 seasons now. Aye. Well, they've been talking him up recently, eh? Like, they've definitely been a media, Hibs media thing. They're trying to get him in the press and him mentioned, despite only coming off the bench for a couple of minutes here and there. That's what was thought of him before Porteous decided to tell everybody he wasn't signing the contract. So I think centre half probably need to improve.
Mhm.
And I would sell Porteous if we could. If we can't, then you've got to balance off. Well, what's your break-even point here on how much is he worth keeping?
Mhm.
How many points do we think he'll bring, and is that going to bring value, or is selling him for, I don't know, a couple of $100,000 or something? Is that
So it'll be, I think.
what's this? I don't think we can expect any more than that. With that many months left in his contract, when it's out there that he's wanting to leave, nobody's going to offer any more than that. The only hope we can get is a bidding war of some sort. But based on the amount of bids it's been in when he was under contract, you're thinking, well, is anybody really that fussed? So there might only be one or two teams max coming in based on that. So sell if we can get the money. Centre half, definitely. I think we need an attacking midfielder, and we probably need a striker that can score goals, because the big boys appear to have scored a few, but I don't know. Most of them have been chopped off, I think. And he's only on loan.
Aye.
And it'll not be long till Nisbet's doing the purchase as well. So he'll be one away.
Unless we start winning. And this is like the thing. I think it's easier to keep players if your team's successful. I think, see, if we weren't in shite, we would have had a better chance to keep him Porteous. I think probably the same way with Nisbet. Like, he'll be agitating for a move. If we're bottom six again, he'll
He's
be
done it
agitating
before,
for
eh?
yeah.
So he'll do it again.
Midfield's definitely. Centre half, yeah, I would agree with that. I would get rid of Porteous now, or at the earliest opportunity. I think if we get rid of Porteous, the knock-on is he probably goes with Rocky and Hanlon, you would imagine, as the two, and we move back to a 4-3-3, which is what we were winning with at the start of the season. I think he wanted to play Rocky, Porteous and Hanlon. Again, goes back to what I was saying about shoehorning players in, rather than dropping one of them, because he maybe felt that their performances didn't merit it. It affected the whole team. Aye. Yeah. So I would say take the problem away, sell Porteous, and then play with two at the back. Or four at the back, not just.
Do you think Man United are putting pressure on for the laddie to be playing minutes? Because obviously they've sent him up here on loan and we're not playing him. It'd be like us, like in reverse. So we've got a talent, and like I can't think who we've got somebody on loan now, right?
For example, it's up at Arbroath.
Aye, is he playing for Arbroath?
Yeah, I think so.
So him then, he's not getting minutes at Arbroath, for example. We'd be going, we'll just bring you back then and give you somebody else that will give us minutes.
Aye, would be the same.
I can't see Man United can't be getting anything out of that. I mean, their plan would have been, if they had him on any development trajectory, would be go to the SPL, do well, and we'll get into the Championship next year.
Aye. Well, there was an article kept doing the rounds, and then it was dismissed later that Man United were going to recall him. So I wonder if Man United put that out for that reason. Just
and then on the back of that, we've had the media churn. Getting him. Look how good he was in the game against
Middlesbrough, Wraith
Rovers, and that. So there's a wee bit of bandwagon there.
Right, and then players who are going. So Stephen Bradley's just gone to Livingston. Whether he would be included in that, I suppose he would need to be. He would have been in the first team squad. Porteous is away, so you're probably looking to find another 4, Colin, that you would be moving on.
Aye, so try to remember, it's been a long time since I thought about Hibs that much. I quite enjoyed the break. What did you enjoy?
Yeah.
I wish it was longer.
Much longer.
Just back in time to spoil Christmas, eh?
I can. A Christmas Eve game as well, eh? It's like if
it's not even that early either, eh? It's 2 o'clock. Eh?
If anything was written in the stars to fuck your Christmas up, it's.
So I think one of the goalies has got to go, as in Dabrowski or the boy on loan.
Schofield.
One of them will be back. Schofield's not played a minute, but I would suggest that you could probably go get Dabrowski to get minutes. He needs to be playing. I said that at the start of the season. I'm not changing my tune on it. I don't think. And you could play the lad. You could keep Schofield then to then cover, or you just bring the laddie for the 18s onto the bench. 19s now as it is. Then you've got. You could argue we keeping Fish's backup. Has he got to be happy with that? Man United got to be happy with that. Did you get rid of him? Then you've got like a fucking raft of boys up front, like Bojan, Tavares, Juan
Melkerson,
Melkerson,
Holger.
and then Hauge, and then you've got Tate. You've got would that count? Because he's in loan now. I don't know if that counts as one of these
I don't
numbers
know.
that Johnson's talking
I
about.
think his thinking behind it, his logic was that he wanted to get rid of players who weren't going to be trouble in the first team because his squad's too big.
Yeah.
So,
which everybody was moaning at Mikey Stewart for saying earlier in the year.
Say everybody. I said it was stupid saying we had too many strikers.
Yeah.
Too many good strikers.
But we've not got any good ones.
Before they decided not to score.
Or look like scoring. And actually, most of them play it wide in that. They didn't seem to play up front. They'll drift about the place. So all the aim in that bucket. And then you've got like Del Ferry and all that as well. I can't remember how you say his name. Does he count? He's on loan. I don't even think he's playing every week on loan. And you think there was calls to get him in the first team in the summer.
Well, same with Tate.
He's not getting a game at Edinburgh City.
The uproar of Tate getting not getting played, and I'm sure him and Scott Allen are the midfield at Arbroath. They're second bottom in the championship.
Yeah.
Now, I've not followed it to see how much he's been playing, but same with Dan Mackay. Like I don't think he's been tearing it up in the championship either.
So we've got far too many on the books, and obviously they're not coming back and playing for the development team like what the plan was because they didn't have any games. So, and then you're into the laddies like O'Connor and all that. They're out of contract as well. Laidlaw, O'Connor, they're out of contract.
I think they've not been in the first team squad though, so I think they're going to be in the thinking there.
Right, okay. But O'Connor's played in the first team last season, albeit, but so I don't know if he'd be counted as in the squad or not. I don't know, but there's fucking loads you could pick. Like there really is.
Do you think Hibs will cut their losses in any of the summer signings?
So, well, Bojan, Yuan, maybe, possibly. Melkerson can't be far away from it as well, really. Like, he's never really done anything. Yeah, he scored 2 good goals at Motherwell that day, which made us think Sylvester Jasper was a player as well.
I can
remember.
Sure, Johnson after the Middlesbrough game called out Melkerson for not doing enough.
Did he?
As well.
Aye. What do you think of that? Like calling them out like that individually in the press?
Pish. Really, not a fan of it at all. I think
folk would say if we were winning, folk would be liking it.
Aye.
It's honest and refreshing and all that. But when you're losing and you're doing it was like after the 6-1 game at Celtic and that mind it was a wee bit. It must be demoralising. You wonder what they're thinking because if your boss was continually doing that to you, you'd be going, "Who's this cunt?" Like,
aye,
you know,
you would be because you'd be brought in to take responsibility for it as well.
Yeah.
I think you didn't really see that with Johnson. I think there's a time and place where sometimes you can get away with doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You can go if you didn't normally do it and you do it for effect. Like Lennon did it famously after we drew with Wraith. It was a draw, but he hammered them. And then he talked them all up for the derby, and we went out and fucking pumped hearts. And then everybody went, fair enough. But then when Lennon chucked it at Tiny, when we were going for second, he threw the players under the bus, and nobody was having it at that point because everybody was like, "Fuck off!" That was on the manager, not the players.
Mm-hmm. Although the result of that was a 5-5 game, but you're right. It doesn't work. It's not going to work over and over because they'll go, "Oh, here he goes again." He doesn't even mean it.
Aye, and I think you lose the trust of the players. And I think for that, like in a friendly, what's the need to call out Melkerson, a 19-year-old laddie?
He done it with Henderson to an extent as well, didn't he? Henderson, there's another one. He didn't quite call him out, but he said he's not performing and he needs to be better. But I've told him that. Remember, why are you telling the press then? It's almost like it feels a wee bit arse covering to get the fans on side and that. And this is negative the night, isn't it?
Kim, it's interesting about the recruitment or like who we're going to potentially get rid of, because if they do go with the summer signings, like when you consider for the January window, apart from Rocky who we kept on, and Henderson who we'd committed to sign, the others Nobody stayed, if I remember right.
Yep.
For the window before that, how many folk hung about? There's no many.
Well, that was the one. That was the one where we went to Hibs. Liam, remember, for down the
Yep.
slope to help to create the slides that went to Hibs, which they acknowledged receipt of. That's as far as it went.
Yep.
To talk about the poor window, because they were telling us that it was good. Remember, because they had examples like Sylvester Jasper and the boy that's away down to Stoke. They said the right back. Can't remember his name.
Oh, Harry Clark.
Harry Clark. And that was two of the examples as
Yeah.
why it was a success. And then we've had the big clear out. Or was that the window?
That was the January
my
window.
out? That was the January window.
Aye.
Aye. So before that, fuck knows for there, but it's just mass turnover. Right? Mass turnover.
The more that happens, though, the bigger the evidence to say that the recruitment team and its current guys isn't working. And that makes it harder and harder for the Gordons to defend their positions, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
agreed.
Okay, Dave Thompson, how many points will we secure in the next 4 games, and what's the minimum that's acceptable?
I think we will. I think we'll get 4. I think the minimum's got to be 6, though, for it to be acceptable.
I think you'd get
Or
away
5.
with 4. I think you'd get away with 4. I think whether acceptable is the right phrase, but I think if you're looking at those fixtures, say we were doing fine and things weren't bad. If you went Rangers and Celtic, no points, 3 points Livy, point at Tiny. Folk would say a point at Tiny is no bad.
Yeah.
So that's 4 points.
Aye.
Probably acceptable in that context. Nobody would want to say 4 points out of 12 is acceptable, though.
No. But you're probably right, though. You'll probably get away with it.
William Turner says, are we hoping the manager mixing it up a bit in the friendly with some kids and the untried players that he's going to try and get beyond the players in the squad that got the last 2 managers to sack? It'll be worth suffering to see some kids make the break finally.
It would. So, would it be worth suffering? Only if they're getting time, though. Like at the moment, they're just getting, like they're on the bench. They don't often get on. Like I know he's talking about friendlies here. That doesn't count. They need to be. You would maybe go. I don't know actually, because I could see you play a team of young laddies that are getting beat, or play a handful of young folk will start saying they're never going to make it. They're shite. If you're on a losing run, and you could argue that the older ones would start having to take some more responsibility, and they would take the heat for them. But a lot of folk would start writing them off. I
think it's a really difficult one because there's an argument for doing it, and I think as Hibs fans we're always skewed a wee bit because of the golden generation, and just because they got thrown in and they had to be good, and then they were good, and we made millions of them and had some great times watching them. But I think in practice, like I say this constantly, right? If there was an 18-year-old playing in under 18s that was banging on the door at the first team, they'd be in the squad. Like your manager's not going to ignore a good player just because.
No.
Do you know, like
I agree with that. Like it happens everywhere. It happens at every level, at their own level. That there'll be 17, 18-year-olds banging on the door in League 2 in the east of Scotland. That's their level, but they're good enough for it, and they'll be in the team when they're 17 or 18. Whereas we've got a raft of guys in the under 18s or 19s as it is now that aren't really banging on the door. Like they're playing well in the under 19s.
Yeah.
But there's nobody there. You're going, fuck me, this lad is absolutely fucking flying. Get him in, like O'Connor and Riordan and all that.
Aye.
There's just nobody. They're there. I mean, they're talented, like the laddies, the McIntyres and that, and there's a couple of others that look like they could do something, but they're no. Like look at the fanfare that Tate and Del Fieri got early in the year. They're a wee bit older than them, because they had a good sort of 20 minutes in a friendly and stuff, and it was like get them in, and they went elsewhere in League 1, League 2, or Championship, and just not tearing it up. And I don't think we've got anybody there. We've got players there that are good, right, at their age, but they're just not stepped up, and they should be by the time you're 19, you should be, and they must all be about that age now. They're under 19s, they're too old. They won the under 18s, they're now under 19s. They must be like nearly 19. Got to be near the first team, nearer the first team.
Aye, or moving into the development team, which is like Hibs halfway house for it now, isn't it? The different approach.
Aye, if you're not playing games, then you're just going back. If you didn't go forward, you go backwards. Sort of thing.
Yeah,
all that.
Unless you're a crab.
Aye,
obviously.
I thought that went with it saying like.
No, but I like just to spell it out.
Just clarify it. Yep.
Aye. Aye. We've said it before. We'd quite like to get somebody for Hibs on to talk about the development team and the pathway for the 18s, 19s through the development squad and into the first team. And we'll keep knocking on that door and try to get it. So I think it's an interesting topic to cover. Right, Jeff Ashton. This one's on fans. The club tweet, welcome back, Geeds. The amount of vitriolic replies from Hibs fans, ranging from fucking who to GTF, etc., was depressing to this happy clapper. I'm all for criticism where it's deserved, but this was fuckwittery of the highest order. Or is it just me?
Aye, I didn't see that, but I mean, the boy's not played a league minute. So is he being written off, is he?
Aye, pretty much.
He's not played in the league all year. Got injured in the pre-season friendly.
I can't believe Hibs did just switch off the comments on.
I know. Aye, because you can do that, eh?
Aye.
They'd probably get criticised for that.
I'd rather have the
Frankie
criticism.
Boyle does it. Aye, I know. You see what you want to say, like.
And what engagement are they hoping for? That's what kind of baffles me. I suppose it's nice if they'd gone.
It's naive. They think, they're fans. They're support. They've got to support.
Well,
they've got to be supportive of this development.
Because I suppose your best case there is welcome back. What was it, kids? Right. So Ed McGeary's looking on his Twitter. Says, "Oh, good Hibs have welcomed me back. That's nice." And then he goes on, scrolls, and what he gets is, "Can't wait to see you play. Brilliant. Great to have you back." And then he goes in feeling a fucking $1 million and. You know, loves the club, loves the fans.
Instead, he feels unwanted and doesn't want.
Instead, he go, "Oh, fuck's sake! You want me to go and fucking turn, knock my pan in a fucking freezing cold Tuesday night?"
It's a strange approach.
I would just switch the comments off if it was me. Although we didn't switch the comments off in our tweets.
No.
But then we've not got 100,000 followers or whatever that fucking Hibs have got.
No, yet. We should maybe start switching the comments off just to draw attention to yourself.
Maybe. Say, don't at me, and then leave the comment blank. And then, yes. Can you? I think you still quote tweet those ones, maybe. But
I think you can it's only people that follow you or something that can reply or some shit. Or something like that.
Yeah, anyway, that's what I would think. I agree with the sentiment for Jeff anyway. Like, I just think it's.
Yeah.
Nobody looks good in that situation. And tell you what, if you're the person tweeting it, there's not a single soul fucking reading your tweets and going, "Oh, fucking, that's brilliant what that boy's written there." Nobody's there looking at it going, "He's cool as fuck for saying, fucking who? Get the fuck." Nobody's going, "Brilliant." Apart from the fuck, what's right.
Well, I know, I didn't get it.
Right, Stuart says, "Can we have another month's break? I'm not ready for the stress of playing again so soon."
Aye, please.
Deal.
There's no winter break though, eh? There'll be loads of games off though. -6 now. It's not even 7 o'clock yet. There's got to be loads of games off. I know the Underfill heat's breaking and
nobody's can afford to put it in to turn it on. The club's about that. Fucking, we would have put it on, but fucking energy crisis, Ukraine or something.
Well, you say that, but there was talk of moving the kickoffs to an earlier time as well, so they didn't have to put the floodlights on. But that's never seemed to come to any fruition. So
I think the lower league clubs went for it.
Aye, that rings a bell.
Aye,
because if you kick off at 1 o'clock, you probably didn't put the lights on, eh? Mm-hmm. I wouldn't have minded that. I didn't mind an earlier kick-off on a Saturday.
Be all right.
It's quite old-fashioned for the 3 o'clock Saturday thing, eh? It's like that's when football should be played, and you think, that's just because folk used to work on a Saturday morning, and then go to the game. It's like in the 50s and 60s. It's not.
There's no reason for it now. Andrew Brown said, "What happens with Porto now? He's decided he's leaving. Do we play him regardless, or look to use what we have longer term?" We covered that. Mel Clements, what's our strongest starting 11?
Marshall, Porteous handling, in the centre, Cadden at right back, Jabraya at left back, Neil, Campbell, and one other in the midfield. Kenna, yep. And well, Nisbet's back now, eh?
Yep.
So you've got because the Miko, you would say based on form, but then you would want to try and get Nisbet, and I don't know if Nisbet could play coming in off the right or the left on a front three, or if the boy can, like one of them, and
Boyle.
Well, Boyle's not fit, so
Right.
Yuan maybe.
Yeah.
On the left.
Go with that. That's probably no far off the one that I would pick. See if I try to think where I would.
Can't think else. So you've got Mitchell that could maybe play on the left.
Mm-hmm.
Not seen much of him though. I can't really think I've missed there. Rocky obviously at centre half. You could argue in for Porteous depending on what mood he's in that light at the moment, or mindset rather than mood. Can't think of any more. I might have missed somebody going in there. Maybe McGeady. Maybe McGeady's on the left.
Oh, aye, I mean, McGeady instead of Yuan, but again, you need to see what kind of nick McGeady's in.
Like guessing,
now he's come back. And also, right, for Mel Clements, defend and counter or try to dominate possession, stroke tempo.
Is this in the Rangers game?
But they'll go for the Rangers game, or in general.
I think it's different. I think the Rangers game out. So there's two ways to go. We've spoken about this as well in previous weeks, but for the Rangers game, it's kind of one of those lose-lose situations. I think, assuming we'll lose the match, because you go in to keep the score down, or hold on for a 0-0 or something, or sneak one, and you lose and you get hammered for not trying. Otherwise, you go in like you did at Parkhead and you get beat 6-1, and everybody hammers you for trying.
Be naive, yeah.
So it's a wee bit. So I think I'd be tempted to go in and. I know I've just rattled off a 4-3-3 there, but I think I might go closer to a 4-5-1 at Ibrox on Thursday night. But in general, and against most teams at all home games and then in most away games, but not all, I would want the other thing she said.
Dominating possession and the tempo, setting the tempo.
Yeah.
I think it's a tricky one. My worry for Ibrox, if you try to sit in, you look at teams who are good at it, like Livingston, I think they defended something like 70 crosses in that game. We can't defend 7 crosses. 70 crosses is going to be a fucking cricket score against us.
Yeah, I know.
So, I don't care. Like you say, it's a lose-lose scenario, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Right, Curvy Nisbet says you're getting the house ready for the festive season and decide to recreate the nativity out of little handmade Hibs player figurines, past and present. Who are you choosing to be baby Jesus? The Shree Wise Men, Mary, Joseph, and the wee donkey.
Shree.
Shree.
Hi John, how you doing? Wish I'd seen this because I could have had to be thinking about it.
So
have we got any wise men?
Well, I would say Josh Campbell would be baby Jesus, just the same initials. So that's an easy one.
Right. Aye, fair enough.
Especially if
Collins, is it current squad only?
Current, past and present. It says, but it's easier just to think of the current squad. Otherwise, it's fucking too vast, isn't it?
Stuart Lovell, wise man. He seems an intelligent guy. So I know I've just said past the game. That's one wise man. Baby Jesus, 3 wise men. Who's it? Joseph and Mary.
Aye.
We'll go Dempster then as Mary, yeah.
Right. Joseph.
Rod. Go for Rod Petrie.
Aye. Rod in the arm for Mary and Joseph. The 3 wise men. I think. Can you went for Lovell? I think we should go.
Sir Tom.
Looking at managers for it. Looking at managers, like who were the thinkers? Mowbray, Heckingbottom. He was a success, but he was definitely a thinker. Like he was articulate.
Aye, setting traps and all that.
Setting traps, and the
league wasn't good enough for his traps. Basically,
exactly.
that's what he said.
Oh, Collins as well. John Collins, like I think of the game, just wasn't very good at managing. I think Baby Jesus could have been wee Sean Maloney as well. He's got the
or actually, you could say Ryan Porteous just because of the sort of messiah sort of complex thing he has around him with some of the fan base as well.
There you go. Good question, John. And random, said, who do you think should be the starting 11 right now for the next 2 games? I think we probably covered that as well.
Yeah.
Right, good points, good questions, folks. Thanks for sending them in. Colin, looking ahead to Thursday then, we've spoke about the team we would pick and potentially the tactics we might or might not adopt. How do you see it going?
No, looking forward to it. I renewed my contract on my
TV.
The TV package that I purchased. Let's see, just this morning. So I'm all set up for it. Nice new layout
Interface.
and all that. Lovely interface. So looking forward to that. Part I'm not looking forward to is watching the game. 8 o'clock kickoff on Thursday.
Is it? Aye.
It's quite a late one. I might. I've not had a drink since the 31st of July. I might have a wee glass of wine or a wee Baileys or something to watch the game on Thursday night. So I'm breaking it on Friday anyway, so I'm thinking,
aye,
what's an extra 4 hours?
Aye, you're right in that.
I don't know, I might not bother, but I might. I can't say anything. I know Rangers haven't been playing well, but they've got the new manager and all that. You would think that'll create some kind of sort of urgency in the players to try and prove themselves again if they want to stay, obviously. And I can't see anything other than a loss, unfortunately. Like I don't know if I've ever predicted a loss on here in a year and a half they're doing it.
You have, I'm sure you have.
Have I?
Aye, I'm sure you have. We must have done it. Like we can't be that bad at predicting that we would never have predicted Hibs to get beat.
Aye, I know.
Was it Mark Lawrenson who used to always do that when he got to Liverpool? Or was maybe Phil Neal on Soccer Saturday?
Oh, was it? Oh, right, aye.
When they would say came up when they'd get the predictions every freaking Liverpool won every week, no matter who they were playing.
Liverpool won.
Aye, that was when they were shite too. When they were good Liverpool.
Aye, when he was the manager.
Aye. Right, scoreline.
Phil Thompson.
Aye.
I think I'll go for a respectable 2-0.
I'll say, it's like so 2-0 is not an embarrassment, is it? Shite, but it's not an embarrassment. I'll go 3-0 Hibs. As somebody pointed out to me the other day, Colin Calderwood took a team and won 3-0 at Ibrox.
Aye, fair enough.
So
imagine that.
I can.
Yeah, imagine that.
I tell you what, if that happened and you're Lee Johnson, you're just whapping your knob out there and they just give it big licks to everybody.
I know.
I
know, but he'll need to back it up by beating Livingston the week after.
I can, which obviously, we'll know what will happen.
No point him getting his 4 points at he's 12 if he doesn't beat Livingston on Christmas.
Yeah, imagine that where you win against Rangers and then you lose at home to Livy.
Yeah, I can imagine that. That's definitely a Hibs sort of thing that's happened.
It's about as Hibs a thing to do as you get. Apart from the winning. No, we do win at Ibrox. So, we'll go with that. Right, stay tuned for extra time if you're a subscriber. If you're not a subscriber, why not? You can sign up. Just go to our Twitter profile and click on the wee link there.
Nice Christmas present for somebody.
Brilliant. Treat yourself at Christmas. If you've not got anybody that'll buy it for you, just go on £3 a month. Extra episodes, and we're just going to talk about whether or not we're confident in a successful second half of the season. No spoilers in this episode. I think we've tried to keep it vague, Colin, haven't we? Anyway, so we're going to go and depress ourselves talking about that. But go ahead and subscribe, get it for Christmas, whatever. Give it to somebody for Christmas. They'll love it. And we'll be back on Thursday night, maybe with Spaces after the game, Colin.
Oh, possibly, aye. Yes, and the short bangers at short
bangers
in the week as well.
Aye, we'll probably record that early this week so we can watch the game on Thursday. Right, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
County line I pledged upon. Well, they trailed me down when I broke free. I drank all the whiskey in Tennessee. I don't drink what I know.